Hi everyone, it's Nubian Sun Ra, back with another message or some insight or, knowledge, wisdom, however you see, these videos when you watch them. I just wanted to speak on how not everything is always what it seems to be. I always say that, but in this video, maybe, have some relation. Some people can relate to exactly what I mean when I say this in this, particular scenario. The kids in school that will always doodle on paper, if it was just like random shapes, the little S with the lines on it, connecting 3D boxes, all the way down to anime characters, things like that. Or the ones that seem like they're always in space, like spaced out, daydreaming, and the teachers would always say like, oh, this student doesn't pay attention, they're lazy, but these will be the most talented, intelligent kind of students. It's just in the school system, they're trying to convert us and brainwash us. And these will be the students that are not easily programmable because it's something that's not receptive. That means it's hard to receive the information. So we pretty much just blocked it out, and we usually, I was one of the type of students. That's why I say we, we just, be in our own little world because it's like alternate realities, it's not just here on the 3D. There's other places you could go. You can travel in your mind. Our mind is so powerful. Like, it's so much we can do within our mind and within ourselves, and I speak on that a lot of times in my videos when I speak about energy. In my last video, I talked about buying into experiences, because it all starts within. As long as we are feeling certain emotions, taking in certain information in our mind, we are manifesting. We are adding on to things to manifest, when we receive things. So, a lot of times when we are doodling, and what I call la la land, when you're in another world, you are manifesting. A lot of people do not see what's happening because it's happening inside of you. So it's not really for them to see until it actually materializes, but it's just in the inside, you're working on it, and a lot of times, a lot of students, that's the only place they could go in their minds, because in school it's horrible. You have a few friends and that's it, you go home, it might not be shit there either, so the best thing to do is to go within, and growing up in school, they teach us so much on how to go outside of ourselves for information, go outside of ourselves for just about everything, and turn away from ourselves, and they try to change who we are to fit into a box, instead of exploring our individual minds. That's a whole nother video. But what I'm trying to say is, whenever we are in those states of mind, we are manifesting. And whenever we are manifesting, we can manifest whatever we want, and a lot of times, That's how a lot of students that do a lot of artwork and doodling, they become artists. And I know one guy I went to school with, he's really good at drawing anime characters, and now he does comic books, and he makes really good money, and another guy that I knew, he liked drawing and he does tattoos, and it's like they teach us how to do everything but how to make a living when we get older, So what's wrong with manifesting? What's wrong with going inside of yourself, And so, instead of, becoming a 9-to-5 worker at somebody's workplace, and they're paying you minimum wage, or you might make some good money, but you're breaking your back. It's like, there's ways around that, and they used to hate it when they have those kind of children in their classroom, because you make their job hard, because the teachers are under pressure, because they have to have a certain amount of numbers to keep their job. The schools system want to see a certain amount of students passing their classes, and everything like that. So then they try to pressure us because their job's on the line, I know I said that's another video, but this is really funny. I had to say that. But yeah, that's also where alchemy happens, in our mind from within. And our mind is so powerful to the point where it's like we don't even know that we're doing that when we're young. It's just something we naturally do. So some of us are naturally masters at, alchemy and manifesting and things like that. And these are things you accumulate throughout, your lifetimes of being here. Because I do believe in reincarnation. It's not something that you do naturally just on a whim. It's remembrance, DNA remembrance. It's just, we're not really conscious and aware of it. It's pretty much like subconscious. It's like in the back of your mind, or laying in dormant in your DNA, and it has to be activated. Things like that. Them kind of things. But yeah, it's like being creative, poetry. A lot of people used to make fun of the kids that were into arts because they weren't really creative like that. And I guess they were just hating, and even whenever, because, I did a little bit of everything, in high school when it comes to the arts anyway, you are manifesting in all aspects of arts, and whenever we are also like, in La La Land and things like that, we also do that as adults. A lot of people will say like, okay, well, you don't have much of anything. You don't really do much of anything, but you could be just sitting down on a couch, watching your eyelids, or, just looking outside, or listening to music, even watching TV. People say TV is not good for you, and it can rob you of some things. But if you're really good at alchemy and stuff like that, it's like that is not going to bother you. And you can just like be like somewhere else in your mind, just thinking and manifesting and doing alchemy on things. And it's like just literally, like it might not look like much to anybody that don't know what's happening. But there's a lot of things that could be happening, and that's the science of it. Because, for example, whenever people say Black people don't read, so if you want to put something somewhere, you put it in a book, right? Because it's always something about hidden in plain sight, that a lot of people just won't understand. I'm going to put it that way. Just don't understand. Because the programming is teaching you that everything is always hard to find, hard to do, unless you're being taught. And then you have to get paid for it. So that means you have to put in physical work. A lot of people don't really think about, well, you have physical work, yes, but then you have mental work as well. There are a lot of things that you actually have to use your own mind for, and instead of looking for outside sources to hand you those tools, and that's why it's very rare. It's very rare to actually find someone that actually really understand this. This is percentages. I don't mean like rare, like there's only 1, 2, 5 people like this on earth. I mean rare as in percentages. It's not that high, And I tested the theory one day. I actually did. I actually took some Easter eggs. And it's crazy because not all children think this way, but I tried it on children just to see what was going to happen, I took some Easter eggs, right? And I hid them. But I hid them in plain sight, right? Just to see which kids was actually going to look for them and find them, and which ones was going to take the harder route and look in all the hardest, unimaginable places, And it was funny. I'm really not trying to bug out on this camera right now. It was funny. Okay, it was funny because there was only 2 children that actually found, not all of them, but most of them that I hid in plain sight. And it was crazy because they were the smallest children. They were the smallest children out there. And they found them. And all the bigger ones, they were just looking in the most, there was no eggs there because I was putting them in plain sight. I was being lazy that day. I didn't really want to hide no eggs in no weird places, So I just hid them in plain sight. And that's where I got the idea from, of seeing what was going to happen. And after all of this went down is when I realized, the programming, because the smallest children were the ones that found the ones that was hidden in plain sight, the least programmed, because they're little, And so that was some experiment, I don't feel bad about being the person that just like to experiment on people by default, because it don't be like I do it on purpose. It's just situations that come up that give me the opportunity to do so. So I do it, and then this is how you get to learn a lot about life and a lot about people, places, and things, It gives you a wider view, and it's just the curiosity of it all. Just to be the person that's just curious. That's how psychologists and scientists and doctors and discoverers, that's how we got all of them kind of people to tell us information, because they are curious, And that's why I feel like it's important for us to embrace ourselves and who we are. because following the crowd and trying to be like everybody else, it actually take away not from yourself, because now you have converted yourself and learned a whole new set of skills and became a whole new different person than what you came here to be, and then sometimes people hate themselves and don't love themselves for that. But that's a different video, different topic. But, we take away from the world. We have something to give to the world whenever we are born. So it's always good and important for us to embrace ourselves, to love ourselves, and to teach the youth this, and stop wanting them to keep up with the trends. So you could look at your friends and be like, look, my baby can do the TikTok dance. And, ain't nothing wrong with those things if your child enjoys doing them things, because there are children that are very good at dancing and moving their body, But if your child's not really into it and you have to force them a little too much, they're not doing it on their own, coming to you saying, hey, can I get your phone, or can I have a phone so I can download this so that I could do this, don't make them do it. Don't make them do it all in the sake of being cool, following the trend, That's just a suggestion. I can't tell nobody what to do with their kids. I just feel like someone might use this information, maybe this video will inspire you to let your child be locked up in their room, doodling on paper, listening to anime music, if that's what they want to do. Rock music, wear all black lipstick, fingernails painted, if that's what he want to do. You get what I'm saying? I'm just saying. I'm not, saying that, we shouldn't give our children guidance, tell them what's right, because we should, instead of just condoning just anything, but it's important to actually use discernment, know exactly what they want to do it for, instead of being judgmental, have an open line of communication and just explore them. See what they're good at, see what they like to do, and invest in it. Whatever it is, because at the end of the day, it's like you never know what they're going to be. Instead of just letting the school brainwash them into being a regular, I'm about to say regular person, having them follow the line to 9 to 5, prison to pipeline, whatever the fuck, all of that. Y'all follow me. Y'all understand what I'm saying, stuff like that. I'm just saying, it would help. And I'm not telling y'all nothing that I don't do, because I do that with my children. I do what I can from what I got anyway, so that's what we should do, and whenever we do that, they'll also see that we are interested, and it will inspire them more. We might even get inspired because we had things we like to do growing up that we just stopped doing because we had to adulting, it might help you out. Go through your inner childhood healing, It's a whole journey for you and the children, That's just an idea that I wanted to share. And while doing that, the children get to manifest their future and what they want, and you get to watch them thrive, and you're never too old to manifest, Yeah, that's my video for tonight. I hope you all are drinking your water, earthing, staying balanced, saying your affirmations, meditating, loving yourself. Peace and love.